So what are we having here today? Indian food?
Yeah, boy, leftovers from yesterday.
Leftovers on
It's
this?
always good to have a little leftovers, because we just come from the funeral.
Uh-huh.
And yesterday we had some friends. Yesterday was a happy day. Today is a sad day. But that is life.
Yeah, life indeed.
You know, one day for joy, next day for sorrow. The fact is that you have to move on with life.
That's right. Right.
So we have potato, stroke aloo, with pigeon peas. Little different to the chana and aloo. Some jira pork and stew curry chicken. So this was lunch yesterday. And of course, Sita special dal puri and basapshat. Sita is from Trin City and she makes the best homemade dal puri. So this one I didn't make, but one day I have to try.
What is this here now?
And Melissa made this special pepper sauce.
This is Ellis.
Melissa, our daughter-in-law, on her program Ellis, Food and More.
Mm-hmm.
And this here is kuchula made out of apples. It is delicious. I never had it before, but I had some recently and it tastes so good.
Very good, man. Well, here's the Ellis and Lasana and family. Right, so this is the Christmas season. The ham got lost somewhere along the line.
Well, ham is for Christmas Day.
But I always like my Indian food, I have to tell you the truth. I like my Indian food plenty. But I want to say, I think we should say grace first.
Oh, sorry.
I see you eating already.
Hungry, 1:15.
Say your grace quietly then. If you say it longer than that,
My meat would have gone.
I will take a piece of your meat, I think you better roll up that last leaf in the loop.
This side of rotis for you, 50-50. Dal puri and basapshat.
50-50, boy.
You're going down the road,
We can joke at all on that 50-50, yeah. I feel you should roll up that sleeve,
You don't worry about me now.
I feel that sleeve going up. I feel that sleeve going up in your food,
Well, why you can't eat it as well,
Not me. You can do that. Well, back in the days of the Express, this being the run-up week to Christmas, I used to find it kind of boring, boy. Because every year, Christmas time, you're producing the same kind of stories. Mr. Scrooge, you're having a set of different things. I never used to enjoy the Express around this time. There were stories that were so foreign to us.
Okay.
The Christmas, all these white Christmas and whatnot.
That time you wasn't an actor, or what?
No, I wasn't an actor. I wasn't even like Bing Crosby. But Christmas in itself is special. But you know what I found lately? I remember leaving the Express when you finally, the paper's almost, you finish your chores of sub-editing and layout work, and you leave the Express. But you get out there and there is a vibrancy. Everybody's moving around, they have their passes. Quite different today, because COVID has taken away a lot of jobs. Things have become very expensive. People not able to really buy things as they would like to buy. And maybe everybody would like to get a small ham and whatnot. But there were always people selling apples on the street. And I tell you, man, I used to enjoy that part of the game. You walk out of the Express, you're walking across Independence Square there. In them days it was Independence Square. It wasn't Brian Lara Promenade. And the fellas
What
would be...
was apple?
I used to pay $1 for one huge apple.
Yeah, but that
And
same apple now,
it might have been less too.
that same apple now is $6. Five for sure.
Imagine in them days I could eat 5 apples.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. And then, you get up in the countryside and things are really... The countryside is the best place for Christmas, eh?
Oh, yeah, well, I know what campus
There's a
Christmas.
vibrancy in the country that is wonderful. I find it strange over the years, and maybe because I haven't been listening to any radios lately or anything like that. Nap Heben used to be singing a song. One Christmas Eve, walking down the street, and he saw this little fella crying. And then the story goes that he went and he talked to the mother, and then he says in that night at 12 o'clock, he came with a gift, and the next day the little boy was so happy, so merry and gay.
Yeah.
And for some reason in the next, I have found that that song has disappeared. I don't know if it's because of certain words in the song. That
Gay.
I don't know, you know. But I feel kind of sorry that song has disappeared, because the message behind it is the happiness and the generosity of this man who gives this child this gift. So if for some reason that is the reason that it's no longer played, or I don't hear it, maybe it's being played and I don't hear it, to put aside somebody's talent, you know, because of certain, maybe, what do they call it now? What is called it again? Politically incorrect or something like that? I really don't know.
Well,
But
I guess viewers will be able to set us right on that, who might be hearing it.
I don't know.
Because, you know, if you haven't been listening,
Mm-hmm.
it might be on.
But then, there used to be a lot of songs by Strunter, Kitchener, and if Kitchener was alive today, I'm sure he would have come up with a lot of new Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Even Sparrow would have had a new song. So where's all the talent hiding now? Where's all the talent disappeared
Okay.
for new songs? And that girl who would sing about what this girl, Boudram girl, she used to come up with some pretty good songs too. But everything's just changed up now. But you know, I want to talk a little bit here about life here in Trin City. We came to Trin City here, Beaulieu, 47 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of families living around here, and we all shared, you know, having little kids around. The kids have grown, parents have died, and we have lost some really good friends. Eh? I mean, it's a tough subject at a time when it should be joyful.
Mm-hmm.
We lost our neighbor, Carl. You had some good experiences with Carl when he would take you to work. He was always a man who would say, you know, Portia faces life. I say, Carl, how you doing? He say, I'm facing life like Portia. I guess a lot of young people will never know who Portia was.
Yeah.
And then we had people like Mrs. Sankarali.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone too. She's gone.
Not forgetting my boyfriend Benzo.
Benzo, our bread maker. And Benzo would give nobody else the bread when he makes it but you. Lucky I was not a jealous fella.
Oh my gosh, Benzo will deliver his bread religiously every other afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody could get that bread, but Louise has to come up personally.
Mm-hmm.
Till Lance one day say, so Benzo can't give me the bread. And my sister, who's dead now, Sylvia, she said, Lance, oh no, I can't believe you're jealous of Benzo. Oh gosh, I see.
Poor Benzo. Mm-hmm. But we lost some really good neighbors, eh? We have Mama Duya, who is abroad now. Daughter Tiny. We want to shout out to them, eh?
Of course.
To the relatives who have
Mama
left.
Duya, we love you, girl. You have been such a good friend to us over the years.
When we came here to live, you remember?
It's like family, man. It was like
When
family.
when we came here into Beaulieu in 75, Mama Duya was the first woman we saw, the first resident of this
Old Trin City.
old Dinsley
Dinsley
area.
Road.
She was trying out an animal out there. And over the years, we became very good friends. Our children were fortunate that Mr. Sankar lived just across the road. He had we had animals,
Cows.
cows and a mule and whatnot, and every day our children would be across there swinging in a hammock, walking among the animals, and I am glad that they never lost that touch with nature and all those animals. You know? And then we had, of course, we have Marcel and Angela. Thank God they're still alive and around.
Marcel all now will be strumming his guitar.
Oh yeah, boy.
Parang, with a parang man.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of changes as we grow older.
Lots of changes. We can't forget Alan Grant.
Organizing.
Alan Grant was quite a character, you know. Quite a character. Alan Grant knew people like Ray Apollon, because he was a Belmont boy, Ellis Clark. And Alan Grant would get a lot of perhaps donations and throw little kiddies parties. Mm-hmm. He always had biscuits, sweets to give our children and the children along the street. Alan Grant was really a character, a really notable character. Then there was who again? And recently we lost Mr. Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur was very good to our grandchildren. He would take them to school religiously. And his wife, Gloria.
Yeah.
Gloria was faithful neighbor to Lisa, our daughter. You know, giving them a lot of things to eat on the Sunday, macaroni pie, and we shared in it too.
Cuckoo.
Her brother Kitos, Gloria's brother Kitos, worked with me at the Express. In those days, he worked with me on the Sun newspaper, and Kitos was an exceptional cartoonist.
Yeah, I remember that.
I haven't
He
seen
was
him.
at the funeral, no?
Kitos?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed him, man. Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see him after the funeral, but he was there. I recognized him.
Mm. Then we had Charlie. Remember Charlie used to drive a big maxi?
Yeah, that was Auntie's brother, you know.
Mm-hmm. And Elsie?
Yeah. Uncle Hubert's wife.
Yeah, Charlie was there, man. He was always, you know, with his maxi there on the street. We had a man called Malcolm. Malcolm was Lisa's neighbor. Quite quite a character himself. And Lisa will have him over at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about people who were precious to us as neighbors, who passed on. And the reality of, you know, we can't say that Christmas is only for the living, but I mean, we have to remember those who were part of our lives.
Of course.
Part of our lives. Down at the end of the street, we also had a man called Taylor. Taylor was, every time you drove up the street there, you always have a joke for you, Taylor was really quite a good friendly man. Good friendly man. And then we had Mr. Andrews. Yeah. Andrews he lived at the end of the street. Andrews. There was also Ed, the Blackburns, right?
Yeah.
They were a lovely old couple. Always would stop along the street and chat. Today we have some newcomers along the street, and things are different now.
Oh yeah, things are very different.
You know?
Because when we all came to Trin City, we were all mostly couples in our 20s. I was 25, and you were 27. Pearl and Francis next door was 27 and 30s. So, but a lot of young couples with young children.
Don't know what you.
And we all actually grew up as very close neighbors.
Yeah, fantastic.
Sometimes family. It could actually say like family. And children grew up. Strangely, none of the children marry each other.
Yeah, boy.
Maybe they were brothers and sisters. And and now people have started dying. Children are all married and moved out. And homes are being rented. So you have a lot of strange people that you hardly could get to know them because before long they moved and somebody else moved in. So that has really changed the sort of camaraderie that you had on the streets.
True, true.
But the death of Girlie was pretty sad because she was a young one. They lived in the street from Bolio Avenue, which would have been Dinsley Road. So we were the closest street to that house where she lived with her husband.
Actually, we should let you know that Girlie's funeral took place today.
Yeah.
And that's why this subject has come up. We're not here to talk about Scrooge and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Girlie was such a generous person.
Yeah.
You want to talk about generosity, man? Not only for prayers, but anytime Girlie cooked a lot of food.
She should be saying Lindy Pindy.
Yeah, she
She has some food here for Lindy Pindy.
And food for the whole family, yeah, but it's for Lindy Pindy.
Lindy Pindy. He was the one. But I was glad because I was sharing in the well too. You know, you too? Yeah. So we want to remember. It would have been hard for the children to face, you know, to face today. It would have been very hard for them, flying in from different places, you know, in the States, a long journey home, knowing that your mom is gone.
Yeah.
We really feel for them. You lost your parents at what age?
I was 11. I'm 13. Yeah, losing your parents when you're young is very hard and sad. But you're saved from when you grow up and you're friends together, really friends, and there for each other, backbone, parent. So in a way, I'm glad that I don't have to go through it now, or had to go through it in my elderly, older life when you would have been really very attached. Instead, I got attached to you.
Yeah, boy.
No parents, plenty brothers and sisters, loved ones. But parent is a parent, and we really need to value them because when they are no more, we don't want to have remorse, yeah. So we really have to love and be there for our parents, be kind to them, because we can die and leave them, but generally, if they die and leave us, we don't want to have remorse that I wasn't there for my parents, so I should have done more. Because then the person is gone, they don't know that. So love and respect your parents and be there for them. Make time. We live in a very busy world, and sometimes children would say, I'm so busy, I can't go and visit. But it's good to make time. I didn't have parents to go visit. It would have been very far away, Chicakas. But it's important to make time, to be in contact, because you want, at the end, you can say, I did my best. I did my best. I have no regrets, Yeah.
Yesterday we don't want to forget Navin and his wife too, and those girls, those grandchildren.
Because they live together with her.
I was browsing something recently, and it really spiked my interest. I came across a subject that said, that grandparents can be toxic. And since then I've been kind of looking at grandparents, looking at us as grandparents. And one of the things that had been mentioned is that sometimes grandparents could really get in the way of their children's life. And that it might be necessary to sit back and consider am I really, or are we really, as grandparents, pushing ourselves onto children who have their families, and we expect them to live as we did? Times have changed. I mean, technology has vastly accelerated life. And we who were once very quiet and very much in the background, but we had our standards, and now we feel that our children have to have these standards and press on with these standards. Things are a little different. Even like, what we call simple arithmetic. I couldn't sit down and do anything with arithmetic now with my grandchildren at all.
You could have do it without them?
I couldn't even do it in my day. In my day, I couldn't even do it at all. Much as for now,
Because they love to tell you, Miss didn't show it, Miss so.
Miss didn't show that to me, But the thing about it is, we don't want to be toxic grandparents. We don't want that. We want that. We want to be role models, quietly in the background, not interfering, not deciding that, we correct the children at every turn and make it uncomfortable for these parents. I believe that once the parents are, God-fearing, and they have a keen sense of what is the right standard in the community, that it will go down well in their own home life, because it all begins in the home life. Whatever is extended outside there publicly started in the home life. So we don't want to be toxic grandparents. We want to love our children and gravitate towards them in whatever way we can without infringing on their rights, our children's right as parents.
I hear you, Lancy.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
Right.
But long ago, with grandparents, families that grew up with extended family, and grandparents was part of the household, it is very natural then to have got involved, because you consider yourself part and parcel of the home life, and you feel responsible to correct this child, because this is your grandchild. Remember, long ago they said the village grew up a child, so much more your grandmother. The village had the right
but that might be
to
good
correct.
that was good for when they were living together.
Yeah.
But most people have their own homes now.
Well, I am not too sure that grandparents interferes now in grandchildren affairs as much as maybe long ago.
You can't say that across the board.
If you don't live together, if you live together, I can see the I wouldn't say interference, but in good interest, because I am quite conscious of myself. If my grandchildren come here, although we don't live together in an extended family, and I give them something, I say, thank you, because that's how I brought up my children, our children. So it is a spontaneous thing on my part, or on maybe other grandparents' part, maybe more grandmothers, because grandfathers don't get involved as grandmothers.
That's the problem.
Grandfathers are not as gushing about grandchildren as grandmothers. And you automatically, because you said certain things to your children, that thank you, good morning, these are things you did with your own children. And if you do it with your grandchild, who might come to spend, whether it's a night or next morning, you then say good morning, would that be considered toxic?
No. I think maybe I put it badly.
No, and I'm just trying to verify.
But these are just basic, standard things you're talking about here. But I am talking about.
So that's not toxic.
No, that's not toxic. You're trying to.
People
People do say good morning to
boundaries.
People say good morning to the teachers. They say good morning to the neighbors. That's polite.
Thank you.
That's polite.
I do say thank you. Thank you.
But you have to know, you have to be discreet enough to know where to draw the line. Where to draw the line. Because even the children and all might become a little tired of you too, eh? If you keep correcting and
you
you
become a nag.
and you see, it depends on how you do it too. If you insist that a child must say hello, good morning, thank you, and all of these things, and you are
Constantly.
dictatorial about it, the
Yeah.
child will withdraw. It wouldn't hate you, but it will withdraw. It will prefer not to visit granny, not to visit grandpa, because, as you say, granny might be the one giving a little problem, right? So, it's striving to have an even keel. An even keel. It's not that you're going to compromise your standards, but you need to be very circumspect about what you're saying, how you're doing it, right? Because you don't want to lose your children. You don't want to lose your grandchildren because of avoiding, right? And this thing they call love is the best teacher. You show gentle love, kindness, consideration, children will gravitate to that, right? Children are very, they can discern who is strong and who is weak, eh? They could discern that. You understand? They seem to be the seat is a little too hard for you. But all the seating used to be
But
comfortable.
this rotis for you too,
No, I'm good, thank you. And some of the chicken here, you can also have.
No, I didn't.
No, we're not going to dump this.
My portion, I ate all. What I didn't eat is what I can't eat. That's the bones.
All right, we wouldn't we wouldn't dump this because I may not get any ham, so I may have to fall back on this, right? But anyway, this little session here really was to recall the people we lived among and the weddings we had attended in the village, and they were very happy times, and a lot of folks have gone home. Not only in Dinsley here, not only in Cora, but even in the Carcass.
Oh, yes.
You have lost a
lot of my, age, what do you call that?
Contemporaries.
Sometimes I say maybe it's a good thing I came out of the Carcass.
Yeah.
Otherwise I might have been gone already.
Well, I knew an old lady in the Carcass, people were dying. Yes, and she said, I better go to San Fernando, yes?
Yeah, she said, dying trees, dying trees. When second person died, she take off to San Fernando to spend the time with my other sister up there. And she would do that often when anybody died in the village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then she went back and died?
She died in the Carcass. Yes, actually, Old Year's night.
Old Year's night, But we want to wish everybody a happy season, and all those who follow us and those we don't know, and all our friends, all our Trinidadian friends and Tobagonians and friends everywhere in this world.
And also, in case you're thinking of Christmas gifts, we have Lyndon has some very good books that can be given as gifts. Oh, My Testicles.
Don't on the table, please. I see them on the table.
Okay, you go ahead.
No. He has Boy Days, and he has Oh My Testicles. We're here and Across the Caribbean, Jewel of the Caribbean.
90 Days of Violence.
90 Days of Violence, but we don't want to talk about violence at this point. Quite a good story.
My brother, Michael, he has some very humorous old-time days story books.
Yeah.
Forward Ever, Backward Never. Mm-hmm. And the other one
Putting Up a Resistance.
Putting Up a Resistance is a novel.
Yes.
All good, very interesting stories.
About the Carcass life, you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, not forgetting The Ghost of Cora.
I'm the ghost.
So, all the best. And
yes. You have a safe Christmas. You have a wonderful Christmas, and stay well, stay alive as long as possible, and all good health to you all. Thanks very much.
Anjan, missing your call.
Yeah, boy, I'm gonna. And we want to say to our friend Eddie Manju in Canada, and we have another good friend in Canada, the Mayara girl who supported us with our when we produced the Ghost of Korah. We have taken her as family and we forgot her name already. Imagine that. That's terrible. But we'll get back to that.
Senior moments.
Senior moments are creeping up vastly.
Especially when names are concerned.
Yeah.
But good days to all of you. Can't remember all the names, but all of you know who follow us.
Yes.
Very happy holidays together.
Yes.
Make the family time special because Christmas is a family time.
Mm-hmm.
Make everybody happy, be there for them. Remember, you never know what next or who's next.
And one more thing, please. We saw Farmer Harry yesterday. Oh boy, Farmer Harry is a special fella. He really is. We went to Pool 2, and Pool 1 was very crowded. Pool 2 is quite a beautiful pool. It's just that when people go there, they need to just carry their little garbage bags and pick up a little stuff and make the place tidy and nice, and so everybody can enjoy a good, clean Christmas. Thank you very much and all the best.